Hey, what's going on, guys? Abel here with World Standard Audio, and in this video, I'm here at the Noise Match Studios, and we're going to talk about their involvement with the mega hit Despacito with Daddy Yankee and Luis Fonse. Abel here with World Standard Audio, and I've decided to start creating a video series on my YouTube channel where not only do we talk about tips and tricks in the music industry, but also I'm going to sit down and interview some of the industry's most influential people, whether it's fashion, fitness, music business, anything that has to do with the world of entertainment and lifestyle. Not only are you going to be getting exclusive content, but also we're going to provide you with opportunities that's going to help you and your business. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Abel with World Standard Audio, and we're here at Noise Match Studios. I'm here with my friend, personal colleague, Alex Campos, and pretty much in this video we're going to talk about his involvement with the song Despacito. Obviously, we're going to get into some more details of what Noise Match Studios does and some of their programs. So, Alex, thanks for taking the time out and coming to speak with us and speak to my audience. What was your involvement with Despacito, man? I mean, I've been seeing it all over the social media. I see that platinum plaque over there.
It's pretty funny. I've been friends with Luis Fonse for years. I think the first time I met him was in 2012.
Okay.
We did a session with a Spanish artist named Merche, which was really cool because I've always been a big fan of his music. Never met him personally. Got to hang out and work with him, and a good friend of mine and producer Andres Saavedra, which introduced me to Luis. And we kind of been in and out, different projects. He's been here doing different things. And I got a call around November last year. Said, hey man, this is Luis. I have this song I'm really excited about that I'm working on. I would love to record some instruments and then maybe do some other stuff with you. Are you available? Kind of those very organic things.
And who actually started the record?
He did on his own. So basically, from what I understand, when I talked to him, he had this idea of the song Despacito, and then he worked with Eric Kinder on his own time, kind of did this beat, and then that got translated with Andres Torres and their work into kind of like the instrumental, which is what we had. We had the song. So there was
multiple writers on the production.
Oh yeah, but I mean, writers per se, there was Eric Kinder, Luis, and DY. That's literally the three people that wrote the song. The rest was reproduction and the recording process and whatnot. But yeah, so it's very organic. I got the call, said yeah, let's do it. So we recorded some like Puerto Rican Cuatro in the beginning of the song. We did that first, and then some other things, and then some months later, he told me, hey, I'm gonna feature Daddy Yankee.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to. I wanted to get to the Daddy Yankee part.
Yeah, and for me it was like a huge deal because he's one of my personal heroes. I love Latin music. I love urban music. I see him as like a Michael Jackson of like the urban Latin world. And so it was very inspiring. I said, look, great. I'd love to meet him. I never worked with him.
So they all came here to record the record and produce it.
So it was funny because all we had is the hook and an instrumental track. That's what it was. So the verses were not, half of them weren't defined. So it had Luis's verse, which is kind of like the first verse you hear in the song. The second part, which is Yankee's part, that was a tweak that was made here. So basically it was just a little bit of the verse and the hook and an empty canvas. So that was the cool part, which is impressive to me because I come from a background where when I'm working on vocals and we're doing ideas, you put on some headphones, you get creative, you flow with melodies, and then some words come and then you kind of shape around that kind of writing. With Yankee, the most impressive thing to me was in 20 minutes. He did not write a single lyric. He did not he would just blast melodies out of his head and improvised his way into in 20 minutes.
What is it, how they say in Spanish, tarareando?
Not even that. That's the thing. Normal people do that. They do little melodies and some words came. The first thing that came out of his head. So he heard the song for the first time, the track, and the first thing he told me, oh, Bobby, do you have a cheap mic, SM57, so I can do the idea? And I was like, okay, wow, okay, yeah, sure. So we hooked it up. Civico, who was also in the session, our friend, the Civico engineer.
Which we're going to tag everybody's involvement in the bottom of the comments. We're going to tag everybody in there, so everybody gets their credits.
So hooked up the mic for him, and he was on the corner, literally just just literally, he heard the song, and the first thing that came out of his mouth was, Pasito, pasito, suave, suavecito. Wait, rewind that. And I was like, oh my god, this guy just
And it was
changed
over.
the entire song. And I'm telling you, that was melody, lyric, intention, like everything, you know. So it goes beyond kind of like basic, like tarareando or like have an idea. So he would think of complete structures. I mean, I always say the coolest part is it's a continuation of his lifestyle, of what he is. That kind of like monstrous experience from years of experience, culture, doing all the songs that he did, all those hits. It's all just the next chapter on the evolution of what he is. So that was really impressive. So he spent doing like 20 minutes of just improvising and polishing, you know, some lyrics, some stuff here and there with Luis. And within 20 minutes, he had a different song.
And what was your major, like, what was the main involvement in the process that had called you out for? Was it mainly like the mix down?
So
arranging?
we were involved completely in the recording process of all the instrumental stuff, and then the vocals for Yankee. That's a cool thing. I mean, people who are involved, they get the recognition. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're mostly involved in the recording process. The production was done by Andres Torres and my friends over from Colombia, from Cali Dandy.
You know, now that we already got the whole Despacito stuff out of the way, and, you know, I know you're working on a very big project here at Noise Match. Since this really caters to my audience, which they're independent artists that are trying to get ahead in the music industry, can we touch a little bit on that and how it works?
Yeah. Our new offering, it's called, there's two sides of this. So the first side would be Music Mastermind Academy, which is a program where students learn audio engineering inside the studio, which is really cool because it's a hands-on approach to education, not in the traditional sense where you learn something, disconnect for a while, then you get to kind of refresh on what you learned, and most of the time gets you somewhat prepared for a real-world scenario, but nothing kind of prepares you like being in the studio. I mean, the greats or the top engineers in their fields.
So if I were to compare this program to an average college education to go into like a Full Sail, I mean, what would be the difference? Well, between a college education, besides maybe prices.
Yeah, main differences would be the hands-on approach. What you see theoretically, you literally that same moment you move on, and it's like anything. It's like practicing a sport. It's like learning music. You need muscle memory to retain the information. So that's what's really special. Like it's like you learn about something, and then immediately you go to the studio. But it's not only the studio. This is a commercial working studio. So we do have projects in there now that we're working on. So basically, all we're teaching is something that we apply.
So your students are going to be able to have access to some of these actual professional live sessions that are going on with some high-end clients.
Right, that's the idea. You know, that's the idea. Within the course, not really. But
it's very practical, very interactive.
Yeah, but you're basically anybody who's involved with us is tied to our success and our brand and what we do. So we try to do that as much as possible. I mean, in a marketing angle, in a practical angle. That's what's really special. It's like, again, you're working in a top working studio. It's not a classroom. It's not a disconnection. It's the real deal.
As opposed to some of these colleges that just have like these classroom-based studios that they're really not.
Which is great, but there comes a time where after you graduate, the only real leeway you have into the industry is working in a real scenario, which is very limited.
And that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother battle in its own. That's a whole nother.
Right. And you need not only chops. You need to be a people's person. You need to, in order to be that fly on the wall, it's very hard. So this is kind of like a little window in a big pond, a big sea of what the whole studio industry is. Kind of giving you a glimpse into like that inside, that foot in the door.
Right.
But not only a foot in the door, the people are knowing who you are. They know you personally, so you're most likely going to refer somebody that you know versus somebody you don't know. And the chances of us going out of our way to meet people out there is slim. Everybody's busy doing their thing.
It increases your chances definitely by
being there. I mean, all this stuff. Despacito is a big example. I mean, it's something that's the same team. They've done the same songs, the same kind of things for years. This just was, I don't think luck is the right word, but it was just a continuation of what they did, but it's in the right place at the right time.
This time they feel,
yeah. The music industry is, being Latin is cool.
Don't you think that Justin Bieber feature maybe kind of took it a little bit further up? Because Scooter Braun is a monster, which I look up to Scooter Braun. That's like my mentor, one of my mentors.
I think musically, I have one opinion. Marketing wise, I have a different opinion about the song. I mean, culture, well, it did.
Yeah, politics, right? The politics behind that.
I don't even gonna touch on that. But culturally, it did a huge impact. I mean, getting ambassadors, like cultural ambassadors, name aware of this song and the Latin culture and what that did in music, I think that's huge. Business wise, it's tricky because an artist like Justin, he's so big.
Yeah, he kind of really co-signed that record.
That he can
was a
take
legit
over.
co-sign.
You know, he can take over.
And he even had it on his Spotify top record for like weeks.
Right, and a lot of people that don't know anything about Latin music or DY or Luis, they're gonna say, "Oh, that's a Justin Bieber record." But it's not.
It's not.
So that's the thing. The song is already charting in the top charts, and when a guy like that comes in, it's a double-edged sword. Which is, yeah, it's great, but but I think at this point, it just worked out. I mean, it was just organically worked out and everything. But again,
it's a hit or miss game.
But again, it was just being the right place at the right time. From our standpoint, again, same. For him, the whole thing happened organically. Justin was at a club in Colombia, and he heard it. He was just there, and he liked the song.
Yeah, I saw that story. I saw an article on Billboard. Yeah.
So you never know. It's just about being there and being prepared.
Which is very important. That's why, as far as the program, it's very important that you're actually here. Being in these scenarios, because you just never know when you have that opportunity, when you're a part of a major record, like their involvement. And I know you're pressed on time, and I don't want to take too much of it. Just to go back to the programs, I know that you have two sides of the program. You have a program that's actually here, that you actually have to come in, where you have the modules.
Yeah, so that's the Academy, which is a certified 16-week program with the state of Florida. If you're local in Miami, you can take it. The second counterpart of that is the musicmastermind.tv, which is an online portal which will be available in the next couple of months.
Which would probably be most beneficial for you guys that are watching from overseas in the UK, Texas. But this will probably the TV one. But if you guys are also thinking of moving to Miami,
Miami's a great place. The very cool thing is a short-term program.
Okay.
So if you come as a tourist, it's something that you can totally do. Yeah. So it's long enough to get your feet wet and really know what you're doing, but it's also meant to get you going and get you working.
At the end of the day, it's up to them too. It's really up to you. If the opportunity is there, the people are there that are going to actually educate you, and you're going to get 5 years or 10 years of experience. I don't know how, he's been in the game a long time. I don't want to start going with the numbers.
So have you.
But you're going to take all that. Yeah, you're going to take all that experience and put it in 16 weeks. For the pricing, which we're going to put all the pricing information in the bottom, so you can kind of go over it. We're going to have direct links to the website. So pretty much what you're saying is for $30, they have access to all this content, all this information, where it can pretty much take them a lot further in their careers from home.
Yeah, that's really the key. Is the learning process in the professional studio happens by experience, and that's how most people have really learned. The great people, great engineers, and great producers, and people who are in the studio, they've always had some kind of mentorship, not only with one people, with a lot of different people. Okay. And that's kind of limited nowadays with technology. We all have stuff at home, and we do have a lot of access via YouTube and different sorts of avenues, but the studio experience itself, it's very limited unless you have an in with the studio or you have some way of shadowing in the session, but that's very hard to do nowadays, and this is kind of like our contribution to giving insight into what goes on in the sessions without you actually being here. Which is great.
I think that program will definitely add to whatever they have going on already.
Oh yeah,
there's people that are going to be all over, maybe in the UK or something. They have their own little home studio. Oh yeah. I think that program will definitely add more to what their current situation is.
I mean, basically, I designed it because of my own need. I would have loved to have something when we were growing up.
That student loan was like.
Right. If I don't have at least some kind of insight, I got to a point where I had a huge line drawn as to what I can do from home. I didn't know what to do, so I was trying to look for alternatives. There wasn't any. This is a huge thing that I would have loved to have. I know from experience.
Most of you know I went to SA Institute. Actually, that's where I met him. And if I can go back in time, I would have not gone to SAE, and I would have hoped. I would have wished there was this opportunity like this where I can come in, pay nearly a quarter of the price, or less than a quarter of the price of what I was paying at SAE, and I would have gotten way better experience here. So I would take advantage of the fact that, there's an opportunity like this, honestly. And Alex, again, thank you so much for having us come over and interview you and kind of, interrogate you. If there was being any tips right now, just to shut the video down, would there be any tips or advice that you give out to the viewers out of your own personal situation any advice, what would it be?
In regards to
Just life, like, this
life.
is a life hack right here.
Okay, life hack. Life hack, baby.
Hashtag life hack.
Wow, life hack. Stick to something. I mean, really stick to something. I think a lot of people I've admired have done that, and a lot of people that admire me in what I do, the small part of what I have in whatever section of the industry we're in. It's the ability to stick to something. You know, a lot of people say, look, you said you wanted to do a studio, and you did, and you followed through. You said you were going to do a project, and you did. And again, the same thing when you're working with independent artists. You know, I want to be an artist. Okay, so how many songs have you written? Sometimes you ask yourself, well, I've written 5 songs, 10 songs, 1 song, I haven't written any. If you haven't, you better get to it. You know, you want to be an artist, how many records have you done? Closing a record, you're just having an album of 10, 12 songs, the amount of time, money, sweat, anything that gets involved into creating that is a process in itself which you need to go through to just know what it takes. Because, you know, you might find out it might be for you, or maybe not. Maybe you find out, look, it's a lot of work, I don't know if I like this, or maybe you did, but you're not a people's person and you don't like to talk about what you do. And nowadays with social media and how we're living, we need to let people know what we're doing. We need to connect with other people.
You gotta engage more.
Yeah, it's all about engagement and knowing, because you never know where the opportunity comes. So you need to be prepared. But again, going back to the point, just sticking with something. You know, making sure that if you say you're gonna do something, do it. You know, however much time it takes you, but do it in a fashion where you complete it. You know, I think that's the most important thing that the biggest lesson I've learned from others and that I've seen in myself and other things is just following through, completing what you do.
Mic drop right there, brother.
Boom.
Yo, that's the sickest life hack. Thank you so much, Alex, man, for
Oh,
having
thanks.
us come out.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank
Guys,
you.
all the information is going to be in the link in the bottom. Give them the where they can find you.
musicmastermind.academy for the academy program, noisematchstudios.com, and musicmastermind.tv, which will be live in a couple months. We'll get you an update through here as well.
Awesome. Yo, thanks so much, Alex. All right, guys.
Thank you.
It's your boy here with World Standard Audio. Remember, you keep making music, we're going to keep pushing it. See you guys next time.
Boom.